Hey guys, so in this video I want to write a Caesar Cipher program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with creating a title for my program. So let's see, title, and the title will be Caesar Cipher. And I am going to spell title correctly. Okay, next up I want to give it a description. This program takes in a plain text and produces a cipher of that text using the Caesar cipher. Okay, and now we're going to give an example of the use. Let me put semicolon. Let me put the colon there. So let's see. Now we're going to do the usage of the program, how we want it to be used. So we'll probably first ask, please enter the plain text you want to encrypt. And then they'll probably enter some text like defend, DEFEND. And then we'll put some output like deciphered text is, and actually deciphered text, we'll say with key shift equals 1 to tell them how we're shifting the key for the Caesar cipher would be, let's see, that's just one letter up. So the letter D, the next letter for the letter D in defend would be E. The next letter for E, so just one up, would be F. The next letter from F, one up, would be G. And then again, the next letter up from E is F. The next letter up from N is O. The next letter up from D is E again. So this would be the ciphered text of defend with the key shift value equals 1. Okay. So now, how does it work? Well, we take in the letter value. So suppose A equals 0. Suppose A equals 0, B equals 1, C equals 2, D equals 3, and E equals 4. Then we want to encrypt it, so we would get, now these are letters, or I want to just put letter here, letter equal, so these are all our lowercase value letters. So in order to do this, we will take the integer value of the letter that we have, and we're going to add it to the key shift. In this case, our key equals 1. And I'm going to put all this in parentheses because we're going to mod it by the number of letters in the alphabet, which is 26. And this will return the ciphered letter as a number. And then what we want to do is we want to take that ciphered letter, actually I'm going to call it cipher value. And what we want to do is we want to take that cipher value and cast it to be a character. And I misspelled cipher here, but cipher value. So now this would give us some letter. Like L or something. So I was going to put some letter here. Alrighty. So let's give this a try. So we have the value D here. We said D is equal to 3. So we do 3 plus the key equals 1, right? Because our key shift equal 1 here. So that's 4. 4 mod 26 equals 4. So the letter D gives us the cipher value 4. And then the cipher value casted as a char equals the letter E. Okay, so let's go ahead and write the program now. One more thing we need to do is I'm going to put a little note here that the ASCII values of lowercase a is equal to 97. The ASCII value of lowercase b is equal to 98. C equal to 99. And D is equal to 100. And E equals 101. And so forth. So it's a little different from these values here, but we can do some math to make them those same values. We just have to subtract 97 from each of these to make them equal to this here. So now we go ahead and write our program. I'm going to include some libraries. So let's see, include stdio.h and include string.h. We're going to need that for the stringlen function. We're going to definitely need standard input output. We're going to need that for the fget function and the standard in macro. That's for when we take in the text, the plain text. And I just like to include the standard library as well. So let's go ahead and get, well, let's create a function. It's probably going to be a void function. So let's see, define my Caesar cipher function. Okay, we're going to just want this function to not return us what the word that the person took in, or the word that the person wrote or inputted, or put the plain text, however you want to say it. We just want to print out every single letter and make it look like a word. So that's what we'll do inside the function. So I'm going to make it void. I'm going to call it Caesar cipher. And it's going to take in a plain text. And it's going to take in a key. That's the key shift value. So now we're going to go ahead and create our main function. Let's see, we'll put system pause here. If you're not using Windows, you don't need it. So comment out if you are not using Windows OS. Okay, so we're going to have our integer key value. I'm going to set it equal to 1 for now. And then we're going to need a string called plain text. And I'm going to set it at 101 characters. Now what we want to do, we want to ask the user for the plain text to encrypt. So we just have to do a print statement here. Please enter the plain text you want to encrypt. Okay, so now we need to get that user's input. So let's see, get the user's text input and store it in plain text variable. So we can do that with the fgets function, which is supplied by the standard input output library. And let's see, so we're going to want to put in the variable name that we want to store it to, plain text. We need to know the size of that variable. And then we want the standard in macro. And this should give us our plain text in this variable here. Okay, so next we want to print the ciphered text. The ciphered text is, and it's gonna print what that text is. And next one here, we're gonna print the ciphered text. And that should be it. So let's actually create the function Caesar cipher. We just defined it here. So now it's actually created, and within that function we will print the ciphered text. Okay, so first what will we need? We're gonna need to go through the string that the user inputs. So I'm gonna have a index variable called I, and I'm gonna set equal to 0. Also want a cipher value, but I want it as a char. So I want really a char cipher, and that's exactly what I'm going to call it, a char cipher. Okay, so we want to go through the plain text, and we want to go through every single character. So let's see, while the plain text at position I, that's the starting position, is 0. So while that does not equal enter by the user, that would be \0. That's the enter character. And the length of the string, using the function string length from string.h. So we want the string length of the plain text. And I want the string length -1, because it's going to give me one extra character in the string, the terminating character. And I want this to continue while it's greater than I. Okay, so now this should allow us to go through the whole plain text string. So let's see, now we want the cipher to equal char. We want char of the cipher value. So I'm going to say cipher value. And I need to create that variable. Okay, and so we need to figure out what that equals. So cipher value is going to equal cipher value equals this up here. So I'm just going to take this and paste it here. So our current letter would be our plain text at position I. We have our key values, fine. However, we know that our letter A would start at 97 and not at 0, so we have to compensate for that. So I have to say -97, and that's because A starts at 97. We need A to be equal to 0. B starts at 98, and I need B to equal 1. C starts at 2, and I need C to be, C starts at 99, and I need C to be the number 2. So I can just subtract 97 from each of these values, and that'll give me what I need for that. However, now I'm going to get a remainder that's 0 through 26 here. So I need to add 97 as well. And that should give us our cipher value. Okay, so I think that may be it. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. Let's see, .c, and let's call it Caesar Cipher. I'll call it Caesar Cipher 1. Let's run it. Let's see, expected a semicolon before mod. Well, that's because mod is not a an operator in C programming. It's the percent. So let's try that again. Still, function Caesar Cipher, semicolon expected. So let's see where it's expected. We have I see. I have a parentheses, an extra one here. So let's run it. Okay, so now it says undefined print. Let's see. Error return Caesar Cipher 1.c text plus some code there, undefined reference to print. Okay, so where is print? So I have to look through here and search. I see printf here. There's print right there. So print is not a function. Printf is. Okay, and I already see another problem. So we're gonna put in defend first, and this is a goofy mess up. So the cipher text is, and then they have nothing there, and it says press any key to continue. Well, we didn't print any of the cipher text for one. So printf the characters, so we do %c, and then cipher, that's the character that we want to print. And when we're done, I want to make it look a little neater, so I just want to put a new line there. And here's where we want it to print the cipher text. So I'm just going to copy the function that we just created, and we're going to put in the plain text, and we're going to put in the key, oh, not there, right here, and then semicolon, and let's see what we get now. So we're going to put in defend, oh, get an infinite loop. Well, that's not good, and let's see why. That loop is here somewhere, and the infinite loop is because our I value doesn't increment at all. So what I need to do is increment my I, and this should solve that problem, and maybe now we have a working Caesar cipher. So yes, defend, let's take a look here. Defend should be EFGFOE. Perfect. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. I hope this was very helpful. Please leave likes, comments, please subscribe, and I will leave the code here. I'll put on my GitHub, and I will put a link to it down in the descriptions below. So again, thank you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video.